By wiring this section now, we can achieve the desired curve without stressing the tree too much.
First, we secure the wire near the base. Then, with careful precision, we begin to coil it along the branch.
The best way to start your journey into bonsai art is to buy a starter kit and grow and train a bonsai tree yourself.
This tree is a juniper plant, which is about 4 years old. After pruning, wiring, and repotting, this was the result. Now let's start from the beginning by removing the top layer of soil to see where the first roots appear. We carefully lift the tree from its pot and remove loose soil using chopsticks. We carefully lift the tree from its pot and remove loose soil using chopsticks. Now that we can see where the main roots appear, we can decide on the best front of the tree. We also take into consideration the shape and taper of the trunk and the position of the main branches. This basic cleaning will reveal the structure of the plant, helping us in deciding how to design the tree. The next step is pruning. To create a more compact design, we remove the top of the tree using a concave cutter. This branch will be bent upwards later on and function as the new apex. Pruning is considered the most difficult part of creating a bonsai tree.
Try to follow our lead, or consider enrolling in our Getting Started with Bonsai course, where we explain the process of bonsai design. We need to remove this cluster here to allow light into the lower branches.
You can safely prune up to 1/3 of your tree's foliage.
At this point, we are finished pruning the tree and work starts on wiring the branches.
We start with wiring the main trunk, which is still flexible enough to bend. Carefully wrap wire around the trunk at an angle of 45 degrees, holding the wire with one hand and the trunk with the other. Now we carefully bend the trunk to compact the tree, as well as to create a less formal appearance. Now we carefully bend the trunk to compact the tree, as well as to create a less formal appearance. Next, we wire the main branches, starting at the lower branches and slowly working our way up to the apex. Try to wire 2 branches with one piece of wire. Hold the branch with one hand and the wire with the other. Reposition your fingers after each twist to protect the branch. The wire should be thick enough to hold the branch in the desired shape once we bend it.
Thread the wire through the soil and secure it tightly at the base. Then begin wrapping it evenly around the main branches to prepare for shaping.
This is the branch that will function as the apex of the tree.
The key is to spiral the wire firmly around the branch, making sure it's snug against the foliage without causing damage to the bark.
Use your fingers to gently coax the branch, ensuring the curve is precise before securing the wire.
Remaining wire can be cut off using a wire cutter. Once you've finished wiring the branches, you can start shaping them. moving your way up the trunk towards the apex of the tree.
We gently bend the wired branch, ensuring the curve is precise and harmonious with the overall design.
Next, we prepare the bonsai pot before we start repotting. A bonsai pot should have at least one drainage hole. We attach a mesh to cover this hole with a short piece of wire. We also prepare 2 long wires, which will be used later to attach the tree to the pot. Next, we untangle the roots carefully using chopsticks.
Use the chopstick to carefully loosen the compacted earth around the root ball.
Using scissors, we prune long roots. We can prune up to 1/3 of the roots if needed. Now we add some soil in the pot. Place the tree slightly off-center in the pot, keeping in mind its front and the most beautiful angle for displaying. Once you are satisfied with the placement, attach the tree to the pot using the wires we prepared earlier. Once you are satisfied with the placement, attach the tree to the pot using the wires we prepared earlier. Once the wires are secured through the drainage holes, you want to snip the excess close to the mesh to prevent it from interfering with the soil. Now we add more soil. Use chopsticks to make sure all air pockets are filled with soil. Gently press the substrate down around the base. This provides stability and a clean finish for the planting. We have pruned, wired, and repotted the tree. So what's next?
On our website, we offer several online courses, including our Getting Started with Bonsai course and the Bonsai Beginners course.
Again, for more information and free lectures, go to bonsaiempire.com/courses.
Focus on the dense areas first. We are aiming to create clear paths, so carefully thin out the new shoots right at the base.
Focus on the outer edges here. We are trimming the pads, removing the oldest needles to allow light into the center.